What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of ForneverNews! In today's episode, boy, do we got some stories to talk about. For starters, we got a story regarding Funimation currently undergoing a lawsuit. They are being sued with claims that they are not providing services for certain people that have disabilities. So we're gonna dive into that story so you guys can know exactly what's going on. But yeah, they're going after Funimation. We also got major landmark news once again. It's every episode of ForneverNews, but it is what it is. Jujutsu Kaisen smashing through, doing things that is rare to see. We're gonna talk about it. It's major, though. It's major. We got a very unfortunate story regarding a animator that has done work on numerous popular anime, including Naruto and Black Clover. Yeah, this person in particular is being sentenced to time due to certain circumstances. We're gonna dive into that story. Very unfortunate to hear. Got a very small story regarding the Black Clover anime. I guess you could say small, but seemingly with the latest episode, they skipped out on certain events that make people question whether or not we're even going to see certain events in the anime, and also giving an idea of where the anime is going to end, because in case you don't know, the Black Clover anime will be coming to an end March 30th with episode 170, but we'll talk about that. We got major random censorship in Malaysian volumes of Attack on Titan. Get this, they're putting tights on the Titans. We're gonna talk about it. The creator of Magi's latest work, Orient, just went monthly into the Besatsu magazine, and yeah, it's already doing big things. Besatsu magazine is the same magazine that currently houses the Attack on Titan manga. Got a small update regarding My Hero Academia fans still being very mad, over damn near 100,000 of them very mad, regarding a certain adaptation change from the manga to the anime that, in my opinion and many people's opinion, it's not a big deal. And also a small story as well regarding My Hero Academia and John Cena. We got a small update for a story that I don't think I've really talked much about here on the channel in the ForneverNews segments, especially Tokyo Revengers. Small little update for that story. And Chainsaw Man's author just did something really cool, so we're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, we got a lot of stories, more than I even thought of before I started this video. Without further ado, let's jump into another exciting episode of ForneverNews! The only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so first on the docket is a very bizarre, in my opinion, story regarding a lawsuit coming from Funimation. But the thing about it is that the lawsuit is coming from a blind person. So let's just read the article. Funimation faces class action lawsuit for allegedly violating Americans with Disabilities Act. Janissa Angeles, a legally blind person, filed a class action lawsuit against Funimation Global Group LLC on January 13th on behalf of herself and all others similarly situated, alleging that Funimation's website violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. The lawsuit was filed in the District Court of the Southern District of New York. The lawsuit claims that Funimation has failed to quote-unquote design, construct, maintain, and operate its website to be fully accessible to and independently usable by Angeles and other blind or visually impaired people, which it claims is a violation of her rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act. The website referred to in the lawsuit is specifically the shop.funimation.com website. The lawsuit states that Angeles is a quote-unquote visually impaired and legally blind person who cannot use a computer without the assistance of screen reading software and is proficient at using the non-visual desktop access screen reading software. Angeles reportedly visited the shop.funimation.com website on multiple occasions, including in January, to make a purchase, but was denied a shopping experience similar to that of a sighted individual due to the website's lack of a variety of features and accommodations, which effectively barred her from being able to determine what specific products were offered for sale. Specifically, the lawsuit claims that features on the site lacked text, alt, and failed to add a label, element, or title attribute for each field. Additionally, the lawsuit stated pages on the site contained the same title elements and the site contained broken links. The lawsuit states that Funimation has therefore engaged in acts of intentional discrimination. The lawsuit asks for a permanent injunction that requires Funimation retain a qualified consultant acceptable to Angeles to assist Funimation to comply with the web content accessibility guidelines for its website. And there's a ton more there. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm personally looking at it, and this is my own opinion, that it feels as though it's a bit extreme. Like, I totally get that Funimation should definitely be accommodating people that have, you know, visual impairments and things of that nature, but a lawsuit, I mean, hey, they found something, so therefore do as you may. Just my opinion, though, it feels really, really extreme that Funimation not accommodating breaks a law and therefore allows somebody to sue Funimation. So that's just my opinion. I'm not, you know, backing Funimation by any means. It is what it is. It'll play out in court. Next up, extreme news for Jujutsu Kaisen, because we just talked about, again, 25 million. Now Jujutsu Kaisen has currently reached 30 million copies of the manga in circulation, essentially catching up to My Hero Academia. I want to say the last time the My Hero Academia sales were reported, it was around 30 million copies, meaning Jujutsu Kaisen by now could have already potentially surpassed My Hero Academia's run. If I'm not mistaken, My Hero started somewhere around mid to late 2014. So 7 years, 30 million. Jujutsu Kaisen just started, what was it, 2018, 2019? That is absolutely insane. That's no slight to My Hero. That just shows that Jujutsu Kaisen is destroying the competition and exploding like never before. And also the state of the climate of anime and manga fandom. Like, there's just so much more anime and manga fans, especially out in the open now, that are willing to go out and purchase these things than there were even 5 to 10 years ago. And on top of that, based on this graph, it says Jujutsu Kaisen is very likely going to beat in the next days, and this was a few days ago, both Yu Yu Hakusho and Slam Dunk in total copies in circulation by volume 15, and it has a lot of chances to end up beating One Piece too. And what they mean by that is by volume 15, Yu Yu Hakusho had 32 million, Slam Dunk had the same, and One Piece had 37 million, and we haven't released volume 15. I want to say we just got the cover recently, and already Jujutsu Kaisen has 30 million. So essentially, if it keeps on at this pace, Jujutsu Kaisen will be on a bigger pace than One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Slam Dunk, which, again, you gotta attribute it that there's a lot more anime manga fans now than there were back then, so there's that. But just, my god, Jujutsu Kaisen. I will argue as well that I think it's reaping the benefits a little bit of the lane that Demon Slayer has carved for like series to just explode into the mainstream like that. So I do want to give a little props to Demon Slayer as well for making like these type of series just really hit the mainstream hard. But shout outs to the quality writing, quality storytelling that Jujutsu Kaisen has showcased that is allowing it to hit these numbers. Yo, 30 million and on pace of surpassing what Yu Yu Hakusho and these other series were doing by that particular point of volume 15. Oh my god, I can't stress enough that Jujutsu Kaisen's the future, baby. I'm so glad that I've been a fan of it for years now, and it's already breaking the mold and doing a crazy amount of sales. Okay, so next up, some very unfortunate news. An animator that has worked on a lot of popular titles, including the Naruto anime and the Black Clover anime, recently got into some big legal trouble and is unfortunately going to do some time. According to this, it says animator Shiro Kudaka sentenced to 4 months in prison for driving unlicensed. The Tachikawa branch of the Tokyo District Court sentenced animator Shiro Kudaka to 4 months in prison for driving without a license, a violation of the Road Traffic Act, on Tuesday. Judge Hiroaki Kaze stated that the animator demonstrated little regard for observing the law. The prosecution was seeking a 7-month sentence. Kudaka did not have a driver's license while driving a car in Kitanomachi, Hachioji City on June 20th, 2020. He was on a suspended sentence for another case at that time. Kodaka is a prolific key animator and animation director whose work has appeared in such titles as Naruto, Osomatsu-kun, Lupin the Third, Pokemon, Yokai Watch, and like I said, I looked them up, Black Clover as well. The JCast News website reported last month that animation studio Signal MD received a notice from the Japan Fair Trade Commission on January 19th informing the company of its failure to properly compensate subtracted Kudaka for prior work. That is interesting. I didn't read the full article, that last bit, to be honest with you, but if he's the same animator that was going at it and making it public that he wasn't paid from Signal MD, gets a payment, then all of a sudden gets this sentence. I'm not jumping into conspiracy territory. It just sounds wild. You guys, let me know what you think about that. He beats them, gets this award, I want to say, of like 3,000, what was it, 6,000, some crazy number or something like that. And then all of a sudden, this happens. It could be that he's a rebel. It could be that he's just fucking shit up along the way and things is happening. Could be, I don't know. You guys let me know. Also, just a quick story from my understanding. People are saying that they skipped out on a particular chapter that foreshadows a certain character that is very prevalent and has been for this latest arc of the Black Clover manga in the Black Clover anime. And that kind of lines up with what I've been thinking for a while because, again, if you don't know, Black Clover anime ends episode 170 on March 30th, and it's not going to be concluding the entire manga story of an adaptation. So I'm guessing that now I know almost exactly where the story is going to end off in the anime. And again, they could potentially be setting up for my theory, since we've heard this news of the Black Clover anime is ending, that maybe they're going to introduce this character in a movie or a seasonal anime, whatever. But I'm really leaning towards movie that is going to be announced at the end of the Black Clover anime. That's just my theory, my opinion, but it is really strange for them to skip out on damn near a whole chapter from my understanding. And yeah, I could be off on that. They could include it in the next one, but based on the way they're doing things and where I see it ending, it could make sense that they're just going to save that character's introduction until whatever they have planned coming next. Okay, next up, some hilariously bad censorship going on with the Attack on Titan manga. Apparently, the Malaysian Attack on Titan manga has censorship to the point of putting on pants on the Titans. Attack on Titan manga with pants. A Malaysian comic magazine has taken upon itself to protect the modesty of the humanoid Titans in Attack on Titan by applying clothing on their usually naked form, despite the fact that the Titans are originally depicted without genitalia. A tweet by Wally the Great showcased an example of this peculiar censorship, and looking at it, it is freaking hilarious. The Titans are wearing basically like tights, so to speak, and I'm just seeing like there's one of the colossal Titan with like some shorts, some tights. What the hell? The armored Titan. This is so bizarre. They're saying that it's possible that Krakow, which I want to say was a publisher that worked on it at the time in 2019, applied the censorship in compliance with Malaysian laws on media content. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Content Code stipulates that nudity and sex cannot be shown without explicit approval from the Film Censorship Board. So maybe that's the reason, and maybe that happened back then, but really, really strange to see like the Titans with pants. Like, please don't ever make that a thing over here. Like, imagine. Just wanted to give a quick nod with this one. The author of the Magi manga has a new story, has had it for a while now. It's not really new. It's been like three or 4 years now at this point, called Orient. And originally it was in a weekly shonen magazine, if I'm not mistaken, either Shonen Sunday or Weekly Shonen Magazine. Well, now it has been pushed to Besatsu magazine, the same magazine coincidentally that houses Attack on Titan currently. And yeah, it's going for a monthly serialization, and it got the cover recently, and it is looking amazing. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I truly believe they're doing this, which is going to be great for Shinobu Otaka, the creator of the Magi manga and now Orient, because Attack on Titan ends in 2 chapters, right? They're probably trying to soften the blow by bringing in like a big notable mangaka like Shinobu Otaka, creator of Magi. Like, bam, let's push this Orient manga. She probably wanted to go monthly anyway. She's been doing weekly manga for a long time. It's a win-win. They could put the muscle that they've had behind Attack on Titan all this time behind Orient, make it a big deal, and this could be next up. I'm hoping that's the case because Shinobu Otaka, she never really got her just due for Magi. Like, it was popular, it had a cult following, didn't blow up like it should. I'm really hoping that Orient is as good as Magi and can blow up. I've only read like a couple chapters, but I'm so happy to see Orient on the cover of Besatsu magazine, and hopefully once Titan ends, they could put all the marketing and push that they had behind Titan, behind Orient, and behind Shinobu Otaka, and believe in her work. Okay, so some small My Hero Academia stories. For starters, I seen this tweet that had nearly 100,000 likes as of the time that I took the snapshot of it, and it's a picture from the manga of Uraraka cheering alongside Tsuyu. I want to say I've even talked about this before, and then alongside it was the anime adaptation that just had Uraraka, and it said, "I will never forgive them for this," and it had damn near 100,000 likes. And there's so many other things, like even, let's just say you don't want to talk about real things like an anime and manga world to be upset about, and you're still angry about that like years later. Oh my god, the toxicity of some anime and manga fandoms can be so real sometimes. And while we're on the topic of My Hero Academia, I found it really interesting to note that John Cena, yeah, yeah, John Cena recently put out, I want to say it was on Instagram, an image of My Hero Academia, the latest film that's supposed to come out, and a lot of people are speculating like, yo, is he going to be voicing a character in there? Maybe he's going to voice the main villain. That would be humongous. Oh my god, if that went down. But either way, to see that John Cena is probably a big My Hero Academia fan, for him to post that is awesome, and I would love to see it. Like, I don't know if he would go that route, because unfortunately the dubbing industry is kind of looked down and frowned upon from like Hollywood in general, so for him to do a dub, I don't know if he'd actually go through with that because of his career. But if he did, him voicing like the next big villain, that would be amazing, huge, and really put it even further into the mainstream for My Hero, that they want to be mainstream. They want My Hero to be, you know, as big as Naruto, and it's gotten and made great strides in the last few years. Putting John Cena, that'd be huge, as long as he does the role justice. But yeah, we gotta wait and see. Either way, shout outs to John Cena promoting that My Hero agenda. A series that I've been interested for some time now, I want to say an anime adaptation is in the works and coming this year. Tokyo Revengers apparently has 8 million copies in circulation, and I'm probably gonna wait for the anime for this one, but I've been long interested in it. I've heard it's really good. The art style looks great, and the anime from the trailer looks awesome too. So shout outs to 8 million copies. That's nothing to sneeze at by any means, especially if you're not in Weekly Shonen Jump, to do damn near 10 million copies. Good shit. And yeah, I cannot wait for the anime, but 8 million copies. And lastly, it's been quiet for Tatsuki Fujimoto, the author of Chainsaw Man, since the wrapping up of the manga. However, recently he participated in doing, at the very least, an illustration for the cover of this story. I'm not sure if it's a manga or a novel or what, but the design of Amazing Last Story That Can Be Read in 5 Minutes. That's the name of the actual story. Amazing Last Story That Can Be Read in 5 Minutes by Tatsuki Fujimoto of Chainsaw Man has been released, and basically I want to say he just did the art cover of it, and it looks really cool. It kind of looks like Nayuta, the character from Chainsaw Man, that I won't go into spoilers, but yeah, really dope stuff. Hopefully Tatsuki Fujimoto is prepping Chainsaw Man, and maybe we could get it within the next month or two, in the next quarter of the year. I don't know, but I'm hoping so. And yeah, I'm curious what you guys thought about the stories we covered in today's episode. For starters, the Funimation lawsuit. How you think that's going to play out? What is your thoughts and opinion on that? To be honest with you, I could see them potentially winning, just because some wild shit be happening, and if they did break this law, this act, then maybe it could go through. But Funimation is backed by Sony now, so their lawyers are going to be playing very big and major hardball over this, and it does seem a little wild that, like, yo, so you're not catering to my needs, I get to sue you. Again, maybe I'm ignorant on the situation, and if you have some further things to elaborate on that to kind of give me a different perspective, by all means do so. Your thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen, 30 million in circulation, and also on pace of surpassing what Yu Yu Hakusho, Slam Dunk, and potentially even One Piece did at the time of having 15 volumes out. Just, oh my god, it's so deserving, such a great story. Go, I'd say probably just watch the anime first and then jump into the manga, because Jujutsu Kaisen is like, it's unstoppable right now. Your thoughts on that animator that did Naruto, Black Clover, even I want to say Pokemon, it was said, getting 4 months over the suspended license thing. That's really sucky, and also very strange again that, you know, he just won that case of getting that money from the studio, and then bam, prison time. Like, wow. And Black Clover skipping out on that particular character introduction. Do you think that that's because they're planning something big for after the anime end? Again, they already announced that some big announcement is coming at the end of the anime. What it could be, who knows, but maybe that's why they're skipping out on that character for now. Your thoughts on the Attack on Titan Malaysia censorship, putting pants on Titans? Like, why? Orient, from the creator of Magi, getting the cover of Besatsu. Do you think that they're putting that in there in Besatsu to, again, soften the blow, so when Attack on Titan ends, it's like, well, we still got the creator of Magi in here, don't leave. Your thoughts on the My Hero Academia fandom being mad over like an adaptation from like, I don't even know how many years ago now. Also, John Cena, you think it would be a huge move. You think it'll actually happen though, if John Cena voicing a character in the upcoming My Hero Academia film? Tokyo Revengers, 8 million copies. You hyped for the anime coming up? And Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto, yo, that's all fine and dandy, doing that illustration and whatnot. Let's get Chainsaw Man too soon. And your thoughts on any of the stories we covered in today's episode. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. Make sure to hit all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of ForneverNews. Have an awesome day.
To